Hey everybody, it's Melissa Hunter, founder and owner of Family Video Network, and I am here with an update. I spoke to YouTube yesterday and we got some answers to the questions that we brought to them from the town hall we did last week. One of them was, is there a date or a time at which my choice, whether my video or channel is made for kids or not made for kids, locks in, meaning that you can't change it back? At this moment in time, there is not a date or a number of times that you can flip-flop, okay? Keep in mind, if people start to abuse this, then this policy will have to change. So if you make a mistake, or if afterwards you start to think to yourself, you know what, I think there's a lot of kids actually watching this video, I want to switch it, you should be able to do that. If for some reason that needs to change, YouTube will notify us. At the channel level, can you keep changing your channel from one to the other? At the moment, yes. Again, if they feel that there's abuse of this ability, we will lose it. So don't abuse it. Will you still be able to find for kids content on the main platform? There seems to be a lot of confusion out there right now that if you mark your children made for kids, like no one's ever going to see it again. You will still be able to find made for kids content on YouTube main. It's not being moved to another site. It is definitely not going to YouTube Kids, because YouTube Kids is highly curated, and marking your content as made for kids does not get you on YouTube Kids, okay? I want to clarify that. Here's how this is going to work. I have to put on my glasses because I'm old. I'm also starting to look like a basset hound, but that's for another channel. Okay. The experience that you see on YouTube, whether you're on mobile or you're on desktop, it isn't going to look much different when they pull the switch. People are expecting that, like, once they start watching kids content, they're just going to go into this vast wasteland where there's nothing showing in suggested and you can't search. No, it's going to look very much the same. It's just that when you start watching content that is designated as made for kids, then this is going to trigger a situation where YouTube, the algorithm, now needs to assume that you are a child, and therefore, guess what they are going to suggest to you? Other content that is marked as made for kids. Also, when you are watching content made for kids, you can still search. Now, I will admit that this to me seemed a little odd, because I thought to myself, 8-year-old Timmy is watching content made for kids, and then he wants to watch PewDiePie, he can just go into the search bar and type PewDiePie and get to PewDiePie. Right now, that's the way it's going to work. Just answering the question. Okay, vice versa. If your kid is in kiddie land, you know, they've got your phone and they're in made for kids content land where all of their suggested and anything on the home page is made for kids, and you want to go watch some Game of Thrones commentary, you just need to go into the search bar and type Game of Thrones commentary, or go to the channel that, you know, whatever channel that you like to watch, and then you will be taken out of the I'm a kid experience and back into the regular experience, which will look pretty much like the I'm a kid experience, only you will be getting suggested content that is not made for kids. Although you might get suggested content made for kids if it is relevant to what you're watching. So how the heck are they going to suggest things, Melissa, if they can't use persistent identifiers? Well, now that's where it gets a little different. So right now, the search and discovery engine uses thousands, maybe millions of pieces of data in order to serve us content, okay? They're going to lose, I don't know what percentage of those pieces of data when they are deciding that it is a kid watching. Somebody is watching made for kids content, they need to treat you as a kid, so a bunch of those classifiers are going to go away because we're going to lose triggers like engagement, you know, likes, comments, all of those things, and analytics that, by the way, I don't have an answer on analytics yet. Still can't say it. Still too early in the morning to say analytics. We still don't have an answer on what analytics we're going to lose, but a bunch of stuff is going to go away. Now this is going to impact how suggested works in the Made for Kids world. And most likely, this is all going to be contextual. So even still, it might not look that different, because right now, if I'm watching videos about PJ Masks, you know, the machine says, you know, not based on my behavior and what I Google searched and all that, it's just like, you seem to be watching a lot of videos about PJ Masks. You would probably like some Paw Patrol videos. It's contextual. And that's how it's going to work with Made for Kids. They're not going to use all of the other engagement crap and all that stuff, okay? Who knows? Maybe it's going to be better. I feel like we're just going back to an older version of YouTube, is what I really feel like. Okay, how are these changes to the way suggested is going to work for Made for Kids going to affect views? No idea, but we assume that it's going to impact views because of the contextual thing. Do I need to mark my private videos as Made for Kids or not Made for Kids? Yes, every single video you have needs to be designated one way or the other, or the machine's going to designate it for you. Is there a tipping point on how many videos in my library are marked as Made for Kids where I'm going to lose my channel level features? Don't know yet. Still working on that. Can you put links in the description? They don't have an answer for that yet, not because they don't know, but she didn't have an answer on that yet. She's still waiting for the answer on that. How do I get back into the other experience again? Can you explain this to me, because I'm confused. My kid's on my phone. He's watching Paw Patrol. It's all Made for Kids. He's getting suggested Made for Kids stuff. I want my phone back. I want to watch my crap. Very simple. Either go into search the channel that you're looking for, or you can go into your subscriptions and click on the channel in your subs feed. But all you need to do to get out of Made for Kids world is to watch a video that is not Made for Kids. Channel memberships. They are still figuring out how that's going to work, because most current, like if you were currently known to be a family or kids channel, you didn't have access to channel memberships, and you also didn't have a merch shelf or any of that. And all of you people who have not been in the world of making kids and family content, you're like, you poor bastards, you haven't had that? No, we haven't had that. We never got it, never had it. Some of us did though, which is really weird. But for the most part, we didn't. And you won't. As soon as you mark your channel as Made for Kids, you're going to lose it. And so if you do decide, if you do currently have channel memberships or the merch shelf, and you do decide to mark your channel as Made for Kids, you should contact your YouTube rep or YouTube support, because there is not as yet a defined process, especially on the memberships, for how to terminate the memberships of your members. So, but they may want to, they're probably going to have to terminate. So yeah, TBD on that one. So to review, if you are watching Made for Kids content, you will still be able to search. If you are watching Made for Kids content, there will still be suggested. So if you decide to mark your channel as Made for Kids, you will still be in an ecosystem where search and discovery engine is still working. It will just be working differently and using less classifiers than the regular not made for kids version of YouTube. Okay? It's all gonna look the same. It's not like you're gonna start watching Paw Patrol and all of a sudden the screen's gonna go, kid! It's not gonna do that, okay? You're fine. You'll still be cool in front of your friends. Now, I wanna go back to the concept of, but if I don't mark my content as Made for Kids, then I'm gonna be having all of the features, and I'm going to get, you know, I'm gonna have all of the search and discovery engine classifiers, and I'm gonna get to keep all my stuff, and it's gonna be awesome. Okay, I just wanna say for the 9 millionth time in the last 2 weeks, if your audience actually has a lot of kids in it, and you mark your content as not made for kids, you're not going to be suggested to them. Now, while it is true that they could search for you, okay? Let's say I have a channel called Mommy is Really Freaking Cool, okay? And I decide, I cannot speak this morning, and I decide to mark my channel, Mommy is Really Freaking Cool, as not made for kids, because I'm like, you know what? I talk about Barbie dolls all day, but I am not making my stuff for kids. Okay, that is not my audience. I do not think my audience is kids. I'm not marking it for kids. Okay. It is true that kids could go into the search bar and type in, "Mommy is really freaking cool." Or they can go into their subscriptions feed tab and they can look and say, "Oh, there's Mommy. You know, oh, look, Mommy is really freaking cool, has a new video. I'm gonna watch it." That can all still happen. So if I mark my content is not made for kids, kids will still be able to find me, okay? Here's the problem. Most kids, especially in certain age groups, don't do that. Go look at the volume of traffic coming to you from search and from your subscribers. And then go look at the volume of traffic coming from suggested or browse. Because once they are in watching content made for kids, their suggested and their browse, like their homepage and stuff, is all going to be content made for kids. So you will not be in there. Okay, what if I make general audience content and I really don't think that my content is made for kids? Help me out here, Mommy. Okay, Mommy's gonna help you out and we're gonna do a little exercise together. I want you to, wait, let me start recording my screen. So I'm in YouTube Classic right now. You're gonna go up here, you're gonna click on all YouTube products. And let's do last 90 days. Last 90 days. I'm gonna try to remember to block out my earnings so that you don't pee yourself laughing this early in the morning. Oh wait, you're not a 52-year-old woman, you probably don't pee when you laugh. Okay, so we're gonna go up here, we're gonna go to all YouTube products, and we're going to choose YouTube Kids. This means how many views are you getting from the YouTube Kids app? But I'm not on the YouTube Kids app. Oh, my friend. You might be. Because kids can search and parents can add channels to their kids' version of YouTube Kids. They can whitelist certain channels that their kids like and that they are okay with watching on YouTube Kids. So we're gonna click on YouTube Kids. Now here's the funny part. In the last 90 days, I've only gotten 6,000 views 6,267 views from YouTube Kids. It worked out to, we'll go look at in beta, it gives you percentages. So 90 days, 6,000 views, doesn't sound like a lot, right? No, it really isn't. So let's go look at beta now, okay? Let's go to the new analytics. Okay, traffic source, subscription status, more. Okay, I found it. I think it's under traffic source. More, YouTube product, aha, aha. There it is. So, in the last 90 days, of my 462,000 views, that's right, that's 3 months of views now for my channel, 1.3% of my views came from YouTube Kids. That's pretty low. Now the irony here is, I am a toy and doll channel, but the reality is that kids are not searching for me on YouTube Kids, and parents are not whitelisting me on YouTube Kids. So that is an exercise that I suggest you go through. And you're like, well, woman, if you've only got like 1%, well, people that I've consulted with on the phone have done this while they're on the phone with me and found that they have 30, 40, 50% of their views coming from YouTube Kids, and they had no idea. I would highly encourage you to go do that little exercise, and if there's a large percentage of your views are coming from YouTube Kids, you may want to rethink your strategy if you were thinking, I'm not going to mark my stuff made for kids. If you mark your stuff as not made for kids, but a large percentage of your audience is coming from the Kids app, right there, that percentage, 30, 40% of your audience, you're going to lose those views. Now, those are just the kids that are watching on YouTube Kids. We know that actually most kids are watching on main. So maybe add just another 10 or 20% to that and ask yourself if you're willing to lose those views. So you said that they could search for me and I would be in their subscription feed. Yes, so that might offset that a little bit, but we know that right now kids are used to watching things a certain way. Now, we might see a revolution where kids are smart and they're like, no man, I want to watch my channel, I'm gonna search that stuff. Is it really going to offset 30, 40, 50% of your views? Maybe, maybe not. Want to roll the dice? I don't know. I'm just saying that you might want to think about it, okay? We will probably hold another town hall sometime after Thanksgiving and before Christmas. And if we get more information from Jeremy had some really great meetings this week, both with FTC and YouTube folks and lawyers on both sides. So Jeremy Johnston from J House Vlogs and J House Law, he's the man. By the way, if you want to hear from an attorney who actually knows what's going on, because he is actually talking to the commissioners and the lawyers at the FTC and the lawyers at YouTube, listen to Jeremy Johnston, okay? He's the one doing that. Thank you so much for watching. Comments and everything down below, and we will see you again when we have more answers.